His voice grates me. His speaking pattern grates my nerves. Oh my God, it's like taking fingernails and running it down a chalkboard. I can't stand to hear him talk. Alright, so Willie Mac Show came out with a video. It was like 2, 3 in the morning because we watched it last night on Core Stream. The dark truth behind MrBeast's response. Caught lying. Okay, I think it's funny. I want to point something out. I find it funny that Willie Mac puts these emojis in his title like a 16-year-old girl. Like, bruh, what are you doing?
This video is about accountability for Dogpack, Rosanna, as well as MrBeast. Jimmy has finally confronted the allegation. Many were put to rest, like him knowingly hiring a convicted predator. But other answers he gave relating to his crypto allegations come off as downright deceptive.
And he doesn't disclose, one, that he set up a pre-sale and he's like in before anyone else.
Okay, I'm gonna let y'all know now. I still haven't watched the Boyzilla video, but he does do part of it here. I'm not gonna really get into the crypto stuff when it comes to MrBeast, and this is the reason why. I don't understand crypto. All I need from CoffeeZilla is to tell me if it's legal or not. That's all I need CoffeeZilla to tell me, because I can tell you now, I know nothing about crypto. I don't understand it. So I'm not going to sit here, go over CoffeeZilla's video like I understand what he's saying and I can explain it for myself. Okay? So just letting y'all know right now. I'm not going to sit here and act like an authority like I know something.
Right? Millions of dollars. Two, that his fund had been selling and continued to sell after that tweet.
Then we got Dogpack, who was repeatedly caught misreporting claims from CGI to charity fraud accusations.
True!
Falsely labeling MrBeast higher-ups as convicted domestic abusers. He's also made some of the most reckless CP accusations
But I can call out liars.
I have ever seen, making him and Rosanna look like freaks for putting it in the thumbnail. It's gotten to the point where there's no other way to cut it. Dogpack and Rosanna are acting in bad faith. I've never supported another creator getting sued, but...
Are you gonna sue Dogpack?
Not done drafting it up, but once they're done, more than likely, yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not about suing people either. I'm not really down for that. But I think Dogpack himself has crossed the threshold of from shit posting to straight up slander, lies, and harassment. I think he crossed that line. And if MrBeast decides to fully go through with it and sue him, I absolutely have no issue with it. I think Dogpack crossed that line. Because not only did Dogpack obviously go after MrBeast, but he has brought in other characters into the story that he could have slandered them as well. And it's starting to have a bloom effect where it's affecting other people. So, no, I think Dogpack needs to be, brought down a peg or two.
This does put a smile on my face. Now, there are also accusations that Jimmy still hasn't addressed, like LaKoya Hill and the victim holding out for hush money.
I've spoken to the victim, but the victim was trying to get hush money. MrBeast, I guess, wanted was for him to say it was consensual, and I have a recorded phone call with him where he's talking about that. I mean, you'd have to, distort his voice and everything to use that.
You were right. They're gonna come to that. They're gonna reach out to me and say they want me to say that it was consensual.
I was able to get an unsatisfactory answer from Jimmy on this, but in a roundabout way, it leaves me very unhappy. This sort of thing always makes me feel a little dirty. That's why I need something minty, cool, refreshing.
Okay, you're not getting paid off of me there, Willie Mac.
All of these allegations towards MrBeast have been filtered through Dogpack, Rosanna, and Jake Weddle. One of the first pieces of advice I and many other
Trash, trash, and trash. There we go. I summed it up for you, for all three of them.
commentary channels told Dogpack was that you're dealing with anonymous victims and witnesses, meaning that they're relying on your credibility to get their message out there. Dogpack has since let them down. He falsely accused James Warren of being convicted of domestic abuse because he didn't want to wait 14 days for a Freedom of Information request.
But it doesn't say on the, I guess, the public registry what it is. You have to submit a Freedom of Information request, which then takes like 2 weeks. So that's the real reason. I just showed like more corroborating testimony. I mean, it is testimony. I feel like the disclaimer.
I'm sorry, this isn't testimony. I don't have a name. No. That's not testimony to me. What? Somebody telling you in the DMs what they heard? That's not testimony. Like, what?
Disclaimers were pretty clear and like they were genuine, like it is allegedly.
Also, when you can, look at the James Warren domestic violence case against his ex-girlfriend. He apparently abused her for months before she filed charges. This person is alleging that there was a domestic violence charge. That means it's up to you to find it before you post it to 3 million people. They dodge all accountability. When I made these criticisms, Jake Weddle left a comment on my video saying, "Oh my god, they're millionaires, who cares?" Mockingly saying life ruining. Unless they go to jail, they will.
Jake, you got $50,000 from MrBeast. You got paid for the days you were in that challenge you were doing. You worked for MrBeast. Why are you even here, Weddle? Did you hop on the MrBeast hate train so in your mind your comedy career could pop off? Because at this point, I believe so. I think the only reason why you're involved is you saw it getting big and you wanted to be a part of it so people would follow your YouTube channel and people would check out your failed comedy career. Because you're not funny. Comedians are funny. You, sir, are not a comedian at all. I'm just saying.
Will be fine. So just because they're rich, it's okay to make false accusations? They're still people, Jake. It's such a mean-spirited way to justify their actions. Dogpack would follow this up, going on Rosanna's channel and making more false allegations, saying Ava was posting CP to the group chat.
You know the Jimmy's John Smith, I'm gonna get to the messages, starting with this explicit photo of an alleged 13-year-old.
Oh my gosh.
So Ava Tyson sends a photo of a young-looking girl in a sheer top.
Ivanka Trump when she was 13.
Yeah, and the message reads, so this photo is allegedly of Ivanka Trump when she was 13. Ava thought that this was possibly a 13-year-old, and she's posting it in a work chat.
And you're posting it on YouTube. When this video was first posted, the image was not blurred. It looked like how Dawson posted it on Twitter. Now, when I first saw this, I noticed how they looked like professional photos, like it was done for a magazine, so I doubted she wasn't an adult here.
You can look at the photo and tell it's like a spread. You can tell it was done professionally. Do you actually believe Donald Trump's daughter would be put in a situation to take a professional photo like that at 13 years old? Do you not know your history? Do you not know who you're talking about? You obviously, I'm going to say it again, you obviously don't know the parents of Ivanka Trump. There's no way.
And as it turns out, that would be true. She was 18 doing a magazine shoot. It's important to remember that everyone thinks she is 13 here. They think this is CP. So they only read one sentence of what Ava says to make it seem like she's a pedo, and everyone in the group chat is fine with it.
So this photo is allegedly of Ivanka Trump when she was 13.
Why would you ever send somebody a picture of a 13-year-old topless?
Having Ava Tyson saying, oh, this photo is allegedly of Ivanka Trump when she's 13, and it's clearly sexually explicit. You can, she's wearing a see-through top. That's insane.
That is wildly inappropriate.
But if you actually go back, pause, and read it, it's Ava going, holy shit, isn't it crazy that John Casablanca's modeling company is getting exposed on Twitter for this? How is this not being addressed? And if you take a second to think about it, Dogpack and Rosanna are doing the same thing.
Context is everything. Context is everything. These are bad faith actors. And Rosanna, I hope you get it too. I hope you get it too. I hope you are a part of that lawsuit.
Downloaded what they thought was CP, edited it, and censored it in post, and then uploaded it. But instead of posting it to a group chat, they uploaded it to all of YouTube.
Why would you ever send somebody a picture of a 13-year-old topless?
Why would you repost it to YouTube? Testing which version would clickbait people the best. They read a law saying that is legally CP and reported Ava and Jimmy to the FBI.
Images of CP are not protected under First Amendment rights and are illegal contraband under federal law.
That image was suggestive.
Yeah, in my best judgment, if this is a 13-year-old...
Your judgment sucks. You suck at this. You're really, really bad at this. And you thought nobody was going to call you out because you knew how many people hated MrBeast. And you really, really, really thought you were going to get away with this. You're not. Your credibility is below the ground.
As Ava alleges, I would say that this constitutes a CP, in my opinion.
I have reported what I found and my concerns to the authorities, FBI. Hopefully they will look into these MrBeast Telegram company chat logs and other concerns, which again, you guys committed the same crime here. It only took 1 hour after this video was posted to find out that Ivanka was actually 18 and that it was just a magazine shoot. Despite all of this, the video remains up. The false James Warren claims remained up until a week ago.
Yeah, she still hasn't taken that video down. She will not take that video down. Keep it up. Absolutely. At this point, keep that video up. Go ahead. Because it makes it real easy for you to be part of that lawsuit. 100%. Keep it up. Because it wasn't just about that picture that y'all lied about too. You lied about that Discord. You made it seem like it was MrBeast's Discord. It was actually Ava's Discord. It wasn't MrBeast's Discord. He was just in the Discord.
It is constant misinformation. The lack of care for the truth is appalling. They are so willing to make charity fraud accusations with such little evidence. MrBeast Philanthropy built 100 wells in Africa, and because the editors reused the same shot twice, well, that means it must be fake.
Really, the most damning thing against MrBeast is that he has faked parts of his philanthropy videos in a way where he's making it look like they did more than they actually did. Here's one where he claimed to build 100 wells, but in multiple shots, you see the same wells listed as different wells. Well 29 and 67 were the same. He also said he built a bunch of wells in Kenya, but then showed wells that were clearly built in Zimbabwe.
Like, bro, you need more evidence than a shot being reused. Maybe the film crew couldn't be there. Maybe the footage corrupted. MrBeast claims it's an editing error.
Yeah, I think like 1 or 2 of the wells we accidentally showed this like same well as different numbers. But once again, like I said with the blind thing, like why would I spend 98% of the money and then just fake 2 wells, like and destroy the entire integrity to save like 2%? Anyone who
And you know what? In that interview, it makes total sense about like the eye surgeries and like the faked wells. If he paid for the rest of it, then why would he fake like 80 eye surgeries when they actually did 1,800? Why would he fake 2 wells when he paid for the rest of them? It makes no sense for him to do that. You know? It makes absolutely no sense that he would do that.
who made those videos like saying the philanthropy's fake, like that's the one that bothers me the most because we go so above and beyond. Like honestly, if you could just delete them, like that'd be great.
These sort of allegations have hurt the philanthropy's ability to get sponsors and fund new projects.
That like spooked off a lot of people because they're like, oh, so this charity's not authentic. Because like obviously people don't want to work with a charity that's not legit.
This video is also still up. This investigation that Dogpack and Rosanna have been running is so scuffed. Dogpack admits that he's just been slinging accusations at the wall and hoping one sticks. He says LaQuia Hill was roofing people because one text claimed it.
I posted that video with the roofie allegation. I was like, I'm not so sure. I went on Oopaville's channel and I was like, I wasn't sure about that one. And then people had
Then why did you put it in the video then? Why did you put it in the video if you weren't sure about it? Come on, man.
reached out to me, and it was actually consistent with certain victims' stories, I guess, from people close to the victim.
Why are you posting accusations you aren't confident in? It's
Thank
psychotic.
you.
Rosanna says that people are breaking bones at the Beast Games because a message said it, no other evidence.
The messages that I have received from contestants on the show are pretty much all telling a similar story, and I find them to be very disturbing. I saw people with broken bones, stitches, etc., and most were women.
Jimmy claims his company called back all 2,000 contestants and they couldn't find one broken bone.
It's like crazy to think that I'd be like, oh, 10 people broke their bones. Let's keep filming. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't even make sense. After like that claim came out, like we literally called 1,950 contestants of the 2,000. We couldn't get a hold of all 2,000. I couldn't find a single broken bone. It's even crazier is then people tried to, not like the contestants, but the internet, you know, their theories, tried to frame that as hush money. Like I gave them all $2,000 to like make them happy because we didn't tell them beforehand, like to surprise them as they got eliminated. And then people were like, you just did that because of hush money. And I'm like, what does that even mean? Like I also didn't give them like legal paperwork tied with it.
They called.
It feels like in the situations that people are bringing up with MrBeast, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. A lot of people drink haterade to success. And that's what a lot of this seems like. Do I think he still should answer some questions about some things? Yeah, he should. Maybe he should even answer the crypto thing. You know? But some of the accusations y'all are throwing up, y'all are just looking like haters. Ridiculous crybabies.
Everyone back and decided to offer an additional $1,000 per person to make up for any of the inconveniences.
This doesn't even make sense. What does someone with broken bones have to gain from staying anonymous? Surely the show would cover those costs. Even claims about Delaware, convicted predator MrBeast allegedly knowingly hired and protected his identity with a mask, was a completely checkable claim, but Dogpack went live with it anyway.
Why do you call him Delaware? I didn't know. Apparently they called him Delaware because he's not allowed to go back to Delaware. He'll be in videos. He'll be in thumbnails. He'll be around whenever he is. He's wearing a mask. Why would you wear a mask? Why would you conceal your face?
His voice grates me. His speaking pattern grates my nerves. Oh my God. It's like taking fingernails and running it down a chalkboard. I can't stand to hear him talk.
It's like, what are you concealing? That you are a registered sex offender? And that your face can be looked up on a thing? How much more can you literally cover up a sex offender?
This is just not true. This guy's name is just Delaware. It's on his name tag at Best Buy. Delaware did also wear a mask, but only for one video, and it's because it was shot in an insane asylum. It was
Okay, I was talking to Nick last night, and somebody brought it up to him, so I don't know who that was, but it made sense. If they wanted to hide his face, wouldn't they have covered his whole face? You can still tell who that is if you know who he is. Because you can see his nose, and you could see his mouth and the beard and all that. Wouldn't they have covered the whole entire face if they were trying to hide his entire face? You can look at the other picture and tell it's him. It's so stupid. It's just dumb.
Was a bit. Dogpack couldn't find a single other video with him wearing a mask and still went live with this accusation. What gave this story credibility was another former MrBeast employee and Delaware's cousin named Jake the Viking coming forward saying Jimmy knew the whole time. Before being hired, Delaware sat down with Jimmy and Sue, Jimmy's mom, and explained to them everything. So yes, Jimmy knew. It wasn't until Jake the Viking admitted in DMs with Connor X that he doesn't know if this conversation ever happened, saying that he was just told this, likely by his cousin Delaware. I have no proof of this, only what I've been told. Everybody just...
Okay, wait. So I was told that before being hired. Delaware sat down with Jimmy's mom and his mom and disclosed to them his position. I have no proof of this, only what I've been told, and the fact that his entire company knew about his past. You were told that. You didn't know that for a fact, but yet you decided, Jake the Viking, to tweet it out like you knew for a fact. Really?
Ever happened, saying that he was just told this, likely by his cousin Delaware. I have no proof of this, only what I've been told. Everybody's just spewing bullshit, acting like they have first-hand information on things when they don't. This video is also still up. Tons of creators, including me, repeated this misinformation because these three talked out their ass. There is zero remorse from these people. I want to take a moment and do a rapid-fire compilation on how Dogpack was wrong about everything. Dogpack would secretly record an employee gossiping about Delaware.
The person on the other end of this line is a different former MrBeast employee talking about Delaware. Also, apparently before this phone conversation got recorded, the person on the other end of the line said that the MrBeast team was actually trying to expunge Delaware's record off the registry, and that's what actually sparked this person to start recording.
Soggy Cereal took the time to get...
But you know what's funny about that? Okay.
The MrBeast team was actually trying to expunge Delaware's record.
Funny how that's not in the recording. So we're just supposed to believe that the employee or the ex-employee actually said that, but it wasn't in the recording. What?
Off the registry, and that's what actually sparked this person to start recording.
Soggy Cereal took the time to get the full context by interviewing that same employee. The truth is, the employee didn't know he was being recorded and was just talking shit. None of this is true.
Can you tell me a bit about how that happened?
Yeah, it was not to my knowledge that I was being recorded at all. It's just a friend. We were just shooting the shit, and we're just gossiping a lot, catching up on, the current drama. I don't think any of the stuff that we were talking about really had any facts or evidence. It was just
trust no one.
Water cooler talk.
Dogpack claims a contestant got scammed out of dog food for life.
One example where someone on Reddit posted saying that they were promised free dog food for life in exchange for letting MrBeast use them in a video. 5 months later, they still hadn't received their dog food. I actually sent this post to someone who works at MrBeast, and they said they were going to send it to the PR team, and then the Reddit post got taken down.
Well, did you reach out to the Reddit user or follow up with the person in PR you contacted? No, of course not. It was just in the guy's spam folder.
No, that would require research. That would require actually doing something after you talk about it. No, he's not going to do that. Because again, and I am going to continuously say this, Dogpack doesn't do research. He is handed this, you know what it is? It's a bunch of antis giving Dogpack all this crap. Dogpack's pissed off that he doesn't work with MrBeast anymore, and he's like, yeah, I'll run with it. He doesn't do any research. He gets handed all this shit. Because if he did any research, half the shit wouldn't come out of his mouth. Yes, he's acting like a scorned lover. I'm waiting for him to put sugar in Jimmy's gas tank and key his car. That's what he's acting like. He's acting like a woman. He's acting like a woman that got cheated on. That's exactly what he's acting like. And I know. I'm a crazy woman. I know how we act. Damn.
New Feastables formula is more unhealthy than Hershey's?
MrBeast changed the formula again to where it has mostly the same ingredients as Hershey's and even more sugar and more calories per bar.
Well, compare it to the same size bar, you moron. Dogpack claims that a lot of the videos are fake because they use CGI.
This explosion is fake.
Where is he getting these claims from? Jimmy shows the raw footage and it is a real explosion. They just added these extra sparks.
Shredder is CGI.
They actually did shred a Lamborghini. Just watch the video.
This car is digitally lifted.
It's not. The YouTuber who built the car documented the whole thing. They recolored the car blue in post because they had 2 red cars. But otherwise, I don't know where he's coming up with this. Dogpack claims that contestant who won $1 million was left out to dry by Jimmy because he said he was going to help him invest and he didn't.
I was telling him, I was like, man, I don't want to fail. I don't want to be how everybody's saying, I'm gonna run out of money and do all this crazy stuff. I was like, man, Jimmy, please help me. And he said he was gonna help me and we was gonna invest, but yeah, that didn't happen.
11 days after Dogpack uploaded this video, the contestant responded saying Jimmy was still helping him.
Jimmy still came through for me anytime, and even to this day, if I need something, MrBeast is always there, and I really need y'all to understand that.
MrBeast.
that guy right here got dragged into it for no reason. Absolutely ridiculous. There was no reason to drag him into it. This is why if Dogpack gets sued, I don't feel bad for him at all. This is exactly why. I do not care. Yeah, Layla, you're absolutely right. E.g., that's what catching a stray is. That's exactly what catching a stray is. This is a bad one, though.
And even to this day, if I need something, MrBeast is always there. And I really need y'all to understand that.
MrBeast put him on a salary where he doesn't even work at the company, on top of the $1 million he gave him. Another example of Dogpack just going out on a limb is him claiming Jimmy surviving 7 days on a raft video was fake. What's his source for that? He just doesn't see anybody on the raft.
During this time lapse on the 4th day of 7 days stranded at sea, you can clearly see there's no one in the shelter. These are their empty beds. But after a hard cut, magically 5 people are awake, and 2 of the boys have bright yellow raincoats that they didn't have when it rained on day 2.
And after standing the whole night completely soaked.
You didn't spend the night soaked, Jimmy. You slept on the production yacht.
The truth is they were off the boat for an hour due to a lightning storm. It was for safety reasons. Dogpack revealed months later that he knew this the whole time. The boys left the raft during the storm for 4 hours, as per his source. If you were upfront with it.
Well, then why didn't you say that when you made the video, Dogpack? Why didn't you say that? If you knew that, somebody told you that, then why didn't you include that? Dogpack drives me nuts.
Soaked, Jimmy, you slept on the production yacht.
The truth is they were off the boat for an hour due to a lightning storm. It was for safety reasons. Dogpack revealed months later that he knew this the whole time. The boys left the raft during the storm for 4 hours, as per his source. If you were upfront with this information from the beginning, I don't think your audience would think that being off the raft for 4 hours means you faked a week-long challenge. So why did Dogpack's allegations gain so much steam? Well, it's because he frames himself as a credible first-hand source. I worked for MrBeast. He goes on Ludwig's stream and acts like he can't talk because of NDAs.
Okay, so you're assuming based off the screenshot because they weren't in it.
Okay. I think Ludwig was the first streamer he jumped on and talked to. This was so bad. This interview that Ludwig had with him was so bad. So bad. Oh my God.
That they must have been off the boat, presumably in a yacht that I guess the crew who was helping produce this video was on, that was parked off camera nearby. And this is like a theory about it.
You're definitely controlled opposition.
Is that not what you just said? Or do you have like someone who knows that there was a yacht and you can't say it?
All right, go next, go next.
Like, go next question?
Yeah.
I can't. You're just skipping everything and then calling me autistic.
Well, because you can't read context clues. It's not my fault.
They're so willing to be dishonest and withhold information. I disproved most of this in my first video. Soggy disproves all of it. Check his video out. It's a masterpiece. My only criticism is that he was flown out by MrBeast employees to do the interview, and he was not upfront about it until he was asked.
Yes. Now, when I found out he got flown out there, it pissed me off. And the reason why it pissed me off, not the fact that the employee flew him out there, okay? But it pissed me off for 2 reasons. It pissed me off because Soggy didn't tell anyone he got flown out there. And the employee is really dumb for doing it. The reason the employee is really dumb for doing it, because the optics of it. Because look what people are saying now. Look what people are saying now. Oh, he's going to get the money back. What did Harmful Opinion say? That he would, a business expense? The employee was stupid for flying him out. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. He could have done those interviews through a computer screen. So.
He flew to America, right?
Yeah.
Did you cover those costs yourself, or did MrBeast in any way pay?
I'm gonna be honest on that, since it was last moment and very expensive. Dustin, as far as I know, paid for those.
In the video, he framed it as him booking the flight. But even still, the facts he brings to the table are undeniable. Dogpack's videos need to be redacted. Title change.
Yes, the facts are still the facts. Soggy's video was good. The facts are still the facts. But yes, he should have disclosed that he got flown out there by the employee. And the employee honestly should have never done it in the first place. And that's my stance on that. And if anybody don't like it, kick rocks. Sermon, thank you for being a member for 7 months. Late, but I like the stream. Am I forgiven? Yes, you are forgiven. Forgiven. Oh my God, I can't talk today. What is wrong with me?
Something. But that doesn't mean that MrBeast is completely in the clear. MrBeast doesn't once address the LaQuoya Hill allegations, and it's because Oompa doesn't ask about it. The allegation is that LaQuoya Hill sexually harassed his assistant. This allegation jumped to a full-on roofie and rape claim. In fact, the alleged victim even gave a statement to Dogpack saying that he'd say it was a consensual if he got hush money.
Spoken to the victim, but the victim was trying to get hush money. MrBeast, I guess, wanted.
What does that tell you about the alleged victim? I'm just saying. I'm sorry. Now, I'm saying alleged because we don't know if it really happened or not, all right? I don't have definitive proof either way. But what does that say about the alleged victim that they want hush money? Like, flat out just saying they're trying to get hush money. Like what? Crash says for 5, even if they say Soggy was biased towards MrBeast for flying him out, well, MrBeast didn't fly him out. It was the employee. Would that make him any more biased than Dogpack and Rosanna are? I mean, true, Crash. Because Dogpack and Rosanna are very biased. But the thing is antis don't care about that. Listen, the way antis work is they don't care if it's the truth or a lie as long as it hurts their target. That is why I have such a problem with anti-communities. Because that is how they operate. And I have been on record since almost the start of my me doing videos here on YouTube. I am very against anti-communities, and that is the main reason why. They do not care if it's truth or not, as long as it hurts their target.
Was for him to say it was consensual, and I have a recorded phone call with him where he's talking about that. I mean, you'd have to like distort his voice and everything to use that.
You were right. If they are going to come to that, they're going to reach out to me and say they want me to say it was consensual.
Xylie did interview someone on MrBeast's HR team about it, and she claims that the victim didn't want LaKoya fired, and that it was nothing about grape.
The assistant, like, what do you want to happen, right? If it's this, if it's that, like, obviously if it's found, like, he's off, like, that's not okay in any workplace, you know?
If it's not confirmed that there is something,
like, of course, like, we're not gonna hang on to that, right? And so, and he's like, yeah, I don't necessarily want him to be fired, but like, I don't want to be around him, I don't want to see him, like, it's just really uncomfortable for me. I actually worked with him to come up with a list of like jobs that he wanted, because again, if the person who he's assisting is not here, like, it's like, okay, well, now what's your job?
So they move LaKoya.
So who's telling the truth? You know, it's one of those situations we don't have proof either way. And quite honestly, without the proof, Dogpack should have never put it in his video unless he had definitive proof and more than a f***up voice changer.
To a different company and then brought him back when the victim didn't work there anymore because there was no longer that conflict.
The assistant worked with us for a long time, and then when he wasn't here anymore, I think it was like almost a year after the assistant like had chosen to do whatever he wanted to do. Then we were like, okay, we'll bring LaKoya back to help, because at this point there's no conflict anymore.
But I still have questions. Is the victim Dogpack spoke to the same employee? Did MrBeast?
Yes, Willie. Willie coming in with the real questions. Yes.
There's no conflict anymore.
But I still have questions. Is the victim Dogpack spoke to the same employee? Did MrBeast pay the hush money? Also, the timeline between these two statements just doesn't make sense to me. I recently had Oompaville.
I 100% agree. True. We have more questions. See, unlike Dogpack, we don't give out definitive answers. If we still have questions, we're like, okay, is it the same person? Who's telling the truth here? Does anybody have any kind of proof? Did MrBeast pay the hush money? Like, what's going on? Somebody needs to give an answer somewhere.
We'll relay these questions to MrBeast, and he just isn't going to respond. I then had Nick reach out and ask him questions, and he said, Jimmy's afraid that if he makes himself available to comment for everyone, it will just further extend this. Well then, don't talk to everyone, just answer the questions. These are pretty serious allegations. I feel like it's important. Jimmy also apparently told Nick.
I agree. I think the LaKoya Hill situation is important, and MrBeast needs to respond to that. Now, my only thought is maybe, just maybe, the reason why he's not responding to it, because maybe something legal is happening. Because y'all know how it works. Lawyers will tell you to shut the hell up about a situation. So that possibly could be it, question mark? Maybe?
Nick in the call that he didn't pay hush money to anyone. He did not confirm if this employee was the same one that Dogpack interviewed, or if drugging and rape was ever an allegation made to HR. In the interview, the employee sounds like he still worked at MrBeast. While in Soggy's video, they state that the employee left a long time ago. I would be more satisfied with an official statement on record. That's my opinion. Another thing MrBeast is looking shady on is the crypto stuff. His answers are just not at all consistent with what he was saying in 2021.
Didn't pick what punks to buy or anything. Gary Vee, like I said on that podcast, called me and a bunch of other people, said crypto punks were the next big thing. I thought it was pretty crazy, but the first thing I did right after that is just called the guy in charge of the fund who invested my money in. He did the research, picked what punks to buy, bought them. That's kind of high level how it went. But if he was like, oh, this is a shit investment, then he wouldn't have bought them. So
All right, I cannot tell you how weird this answer is in hindsight, because you basically have to completely disbelieve what Jimmy says in 2021 to believe this story.
His answers in the interview do not portray the reality of what happened.
But you rewind a little bit, MrBeast is on Twitter saying, I bought this CryptoPunk. He's on the podcast saying, I bought multiple CryptoPunks.
I bought a bunch.
He's on the podcast saying, I sold.
I've already sold quite a few of them.
I rolled the money into VFriends.
So then I rolled the money into VFriends.
And then even more crazy, he says he specifically bought certain CryptoPunks because he liked their attribute, like the cigarette one. He's like, I like the cigarette CryptoPunk.
The cigarettes, because I thought that was an interesting attribute.
But here he's saying, oh, I didn't even know which ones to buy.
I don't know which punks to buy or which ones we should buy if it's a good investment.
Ooh, shady. That sounds shady to me. When you're saying one thing in 2021, you say another in 2024. I'm just saying. And that's another problem people have too, okay? You just notice how I was like, MrBeast, you said one thing in 2021, you turn around and said another in 2024, okay? You notice how I can give, like, oh God, what's the word? Criticism. But yes, still back him up on the other bullshit that Dogpack and Rosanna try to say about him. Antis can't do that. They can't do that. They run with everything.
Jimmy is hiding from accountability by blaming his fund, but he was clearly playing an active role in that fund.
Frustration here is the fact that anytime there's a problem, it's all the fund. I did nothing. I had nothing to do with it, etc. But when you actually look at these investments were all talking about Jimmy. Like, it wasn't about, oh, there's multiple stakeholders, it's Jason Williams. No. It was all MrBeast. And that's the criticism that I think he's not engaging with here.
There's a coin called Super. Jimmy was invested in the pre-sale of this coin. As it went live, Jimmy was selling, and he continued to sell, selling the coin as he was promoting its viability on Twitter. And Jimmy won't even acknowledge that he should have disclosed that he was heavily invested in Super while he was promoting it.
Why did you not disclose that you had a vested interest in the coin that you were tweeting about? Super question mark. Yeah, we'll start there.
Well, I replied to a tweet, so I did tweet it out, and I think a lot of people...
Wait, you did tweet it out? You reply? This is such a weird distinction. You'll see multiple times, he kind of goes like, he'll engage with something that's not really the criticism. The criticism is, well, why didn't you just disclose you had tons of Super? And you'll see he bends over backwards to not answer that question.
People, that are just getting second hands of the story think I literally tweeted out, go buy Super, go buy Super. Yeah, the fund did hold some Super, and I just sold, that was the owner of Super, the guy who made the coin, and I just went scrolling through Twitter, just replied Super to his tweet. I did not tell people to buy Super.
Wait, no, stop!
Okay, yeah, yeah.
So
Go
first
ahead,
of all, does not answer
Coffeezilla.
the question of like, why didn't you disclose it? Such an
Yeah.
obvious disclosure, and he doesn't disclose, one, that he set up a pre-sale and he's like in before anyone else, right? Millions of dollars, he's in. Two, that his fund had been selling and continued to sell after that tweet. Like, the most irresponsible, even if you want to give him ultimate master benefit of the doubt, incredibly irresponsible, and there's no way that a single person did not see that, and multiple people, I'm sure, see the biggest influencer in the world talking about this, some great low-cap coin, eye-watering prices, he's responding this, and they don't see that as a buy signal from MrBeast.
That should be obvious. Jimmy also just seemingly...
Okay, so you know what? I believe Coffeezilla on that. I mean, because obviously it's the biggest YouTuber. It is the biggest YouTuber putting Super question mark. Yeah, I can see where he needed to disclose that he was actually part of it. I get it. I get it.
He lies about his charity NFTs. The Team C's charity did an auction for NFTs using Eternity and Earn tokens, both things MrBeast was partnered and invested in. Now, the charity was a flop, only selling 2 NFTs, and during one of the sales, MrBeast charity fund dumped all of their earn, netting the charity over $2 million. Jimmy just lies about this.
Eternity gave us NFTs to auction off for Team C's. Only one sold after a day, I believe, and that was it. And then it looks like the fund sold like 27 days later, a little bit of Eternity.
This was the craziest part of the interview, in my opinion.
Okay, Charlie says, yeah, Coffeezilla feels like the only one fully 100% calling Beast out sometimes. Oh, well, here's the thing. When it comes to the crypto stuff and stuff like that, I think no one is better at doing that than Coffeezilla. Okay? And I'm going to be honest, I don't understand the rules of it. I don't understand how crypto works. I don't get it. All right. And really, all I need from Coffeezilla is whether it's legal or not. Shady, I get it, but a lot of people have done shady things. You can't name me a millionaire that hasn't done a shady thing to make that money. You can't. You cannot name a millionaire that hasn't made shady business dealings to make money. You can't. I just need to know if it was legal or not. because I am not going to sit here and act like I'm smart enough to understand the terms and everything else that they're talking about with it. You know, I'm going to be honest. Listen, I'm blue collar, all right? We don't have money for stuff like that. Just saying.
He says, oh, we sold after the charity, the one NFT sold, not true. Then he said we only sold a few tokens, also not true. They sold $2 million. And then on top of that, here's where you can actually see the dates of all this stuff. You can see the offer was made on November 2nd. Is that what he's referring to when he says, you know, oh, we sold it? But because that's not actually true. The sale did not happen until December 23rd, 2021. After the fund sold. So this whole idea he's going to say multiple times where he's going to go, oh, we didn't sell anywhere near the charity time. First of all, that's not true. Second of all, it's just literally false, and NFT sold after the fact. So this whole defense of his is based on misinformation.
Which is ironic because that's the whole point of the interview, debunking misinformation. CoffeeZilla makes clear that what MrBeast did isn't illegal, but it is shady.
I'm not even saying that this was an explicit pump and dump. I don't think we have enough evidence for that. But we do have evidence that this is extremely shady. You are crossing some influencer ethics here.
There's nothing nefarious there.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. I mean, yeah. I mean, it listen, flat out. He said that in 2021. He said something totally different in 2024. He was very intricate in 2021, even talking about like how the attributes of some of the crypto punks and how he liked it. Like he really got into the mud of it, right? And then in 2024, he talked like, yeah, I don't know anything about it, you know? So I get it. Yeah, it's shady as fuck.
Yeah, it sold $2 million of the earn token.
Yes, obviously. It's like the most obvious comeback.
Yes, the fund did 20.
Oh, now there it is. There's the fund. Hey, the fund did. You know whose name is on Eternity? Not the fund. It's MrBeast. That's why the criticism is here.
Yeah.
It's MrBeast the whole way. It wasn't Nick Rose, the CEO, going, hey guys, this rocket fund is investing in us. No. It's MrBeast. MrBeast is supporting this drop through his charity, Team C's. I cannot understand why we can't get to a basic like, hey, I'm taking the L on this one.
Jimmy.
Okay, I agree. 100%. It is his name on it. It's his name and his brand.
He has admitted that he's watched CoffeeZilla's video on him raising concerns.
People who don't like me, like you said in the video, are not going to like me, and they're, you know, going to run with it. People who do like me are going to be like, oh, it was managed by fund, and Jimmy has answers for everything, which, I mean...
No, he doesn't. Wait, that's not what I said. I said if you want to believe MrBeast, there are scapegoats at every turn, which I do believe is true. You can just believe that, you know, Jason Williams was in charge of everything. And I think that's probably somewhat true. Like, I think there's some truth to that, but not everything. That's the point.
Yet Jimmy just ignores CoffeeZilla. All the times he reached out, ignored. It's so funny to watch a whole interview where Jimmy's like, my biggest regret is not responding sooner.
Yep.
I think the best thing that, when it comes to the crypto stuff, I think the best thing he can do is sit down with CoffeeZilla and talk to him. Honestly, that's what he should do. He should have a sit down and talk to CoffeeZilla about it. And if he has to take the L, then take the L. There is nothing wrong with taking an L, MrBeast. You're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. That's what he should do. He should talk to CoffeeZilla.
Definitely would imagine that you would regret have not making a response early.
Oh,
right?
100%. I definitely could have handled it better. Like, I probably should have, like, the second I could have talked.
Exactly, Gray Pill. Especially with all these allegations against him. 100%. Do you, MrBeast, and I know you're not going to watch this. Okay? Because I'm not even in line of sight of you. But MrBeast, listen. With all these accusations against you, do you know how good it would look that you took an L? That you were able to admit that you did something shady? It would actually look good on you. That you can actually take responsibility for f***ing up. There's nothing wrong with that. So you should sit down with CoffeeZilla. I think that would be the best outcome for the crypto stuff. Yeah, that's what I'm guessing, EG. His lawyers are probably like, nah, no CoffeeZilla. Probably. That's the only thing I'm thinking of. I don't know. It's crypto shit, bro.
Talk like, I don't remember the exact date, 2 or 3 weeks ago when we put that report out. Probably should have done something like this right then. If I could go back in time, I would.
But then he doesn't respond to CoffeeZilla's questions. He doesn't respond to my questions. He tells Nick if he takes an interview with one person, then he has to do an interview with everyone. So
Then guess what? Sit your ass down on whatever comfy chair that you have and go from Discord to Discord to Discord or Skype to Skype to Skype, wherever you have to go and talk to these people and interview with them. set up days and times that, listen, you get an hour. Listen, you get 2 hours. You get this amount of time. Sit down and do it. I'm sorry. Unfortunately, you are in this shit. So you need to take care of business and stop evading everybody. I want him to sit with Nick and Mutahar so bad. So do I. Oh my God, that would be amazing. You know that would be good because Nick and Mutahar work really well together when talking to somebody. That would be a fantastic interview.
He can't do it. Why? It's so dumb. Like, you obviously wouldn't have to do that. Now, I want to make clear, Jimmy not answering these questions does not mean he's guilty, but these demons will haunt him until he addresses it.
I agree. And they are, listen, you're going to have to address it eventually. You're going to have to. You might as well rip the Band-Aid off and do it now.
MrBeast is suing Dogpack.
Are you going to sue Dogpack?
Okay, not gonna lie, I love the way that MrBeast answered this. I really do love the way he answered this. When I was driving, I was on that 17-hour drive, okay? When I heard this, I was the one driving, and I kind of scared my husband by my reaction to this because I was behind the wheel. I was like, let's go! He was like, "Oh God, we're gonna die somewhere in Pennsylvania. We're gonna die."
Well, you know, there's tons of examples of him intentionally manipulating things to not be true and posting online. Tons and tons and tons of that. It's just unfortunate. Like, I don't want.
Yes, meeting Mr. Xylie. Wrong lane. I was behind the wheel. I was driving.
You know, there's tons of examples of him intentionally manipulating things to not be true and posting online. Tons and tons and tons of that. It's just unfortunate. Like, I don't want to be put in this situation, but probably gonna have to.
Now, I have never supported suing another creator, but Dogpack has participated in so much defamation, he deserves it. Rosanna posted a response on Twitter. Now that MrBeast has responded after 4 months, I want to take a few days and see what his approach would be.
At this point, why does anybody care what Miss Feet has to say? Literally, why does anybody care? Why does anybody care? You know what? I'm going to give you the same advice, Rosanna, that Mama Max gave me. I'm going to pass this advice on to you, my dear. Keep talking, Rosanna. Keep talking. Keep it up. Keep going. You're going to bury yourself further. Please, please do. Because where Dogpack doesn't have money to pay MrBeast, you do. Keep talking. Keep talking.
It appears these were his main steps. 1, a broad public statement from his lawyers. It wasn't really his lawyers, it was a third-party investigation, but whatever. 2, an expenses paid trip for Soggy Cereal to interview MrBeast employees, also known as excess journalism. Soggy should have disclosed that he was flown out. But if the information is correct, why does it matter? What does it change? Engage with those points. 3, coordination with commentary channels with MrBeast, asking them to cover Soggy's video. I mentioned before, there's a large group of channels.
Okay, I do want to address this. MrBeast, what in the were you thinking? What were you thinking by DMing people Soggy Cereal's video? What the were you thinking? Do you know how bad that looks? Do you honestly believe Soggy Cereal wouldn't have gone out there? Why in the hell would you DM creators? Do you honestly think they wouldn't say you DM'd them? You're MrBeast. Of course they would say it. What? It's like MrBeast. Bro, are you so high on the YouTube ladder you've become a normie? Is that what's wrong with you? You literally have climbed up the ladder so high that you are in Normieville in your way of thinking. Optics, what is wrong with you people? That had to have been one of the dumbest moves I have ever seen. Crash for 2. You think Quentin Tarantino is in Rosanna's DMs? That would be funny, actually. And I know exactly what you're talking about, too. that dusk till dawn Crash, you ain't right. There is something wrong with you, Crash. Holy crap. Oh, Mr. Beast, that was such an idiotic move. When I heard about that, I was like, bruh, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
Points. 3. Coordination with commentary channels with MrBeast, asking them to cover Sagi's video. I mentioned before there's a large group of channels who coordinate behind the scenes to defend Jimmy. She is conflating two things. One of them is the Tea Party commentary group chat, which I was in. It has nothing to do with Jimmy.
When I leave this earth, okay, I'm not going to have a headstone. I want to be cremated, okay? But on that vase that my ashes will be put in is going to be engraved the Tea Party group chat, November of 2023. I am so tired. I don't think y'all understand how tired. I am exhausted from hearing about the Tea Party group chat leaks. I have PTSD from that situation because 17 hours of my life was taken away from me with doing that. The fallout that I had after it, and a year later, still hearing about it. I'm done. I'm just gonna start blocking people. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I'm sick of it. Crash for 5. When Xylie leaves, she'll be buried facing downward so the whole world can kiss her ass. Amen, Crash. What's up, Goblin? Xylie sleep paralysis demon is a group chat. True. Good God.
Jimmy. She is conflating two things. One of them is the Tea Party commentary group chat, which I was in. It has nothing to do with Jimmy. If it was, he would have answered my questions. She's just making it up. MrBeast did, however, separately DM commentary channel Sagi's video. I agree that it's cringe, but if the information is correct, what does it change? 4. A very favorable...
Okay, I do agree. If the information is correct, what does it change? But optically, that was such a bad move. That was such a bad move. I don't know why MrBeast thought that was a good idea. It was dumb. It looked bad. And the sad thing is you're dragging other people in it by saying that. You're making it feel like they had to say publicly that you DM'd them. That way their credibility wouldn't be shot. Like, come on, dude.
softball interview, also known as a puff piece. Okay, but what did Jimmy get wrong in it? She never engages. One thing you'll notice about this approach is not a single victim was interviewed across the hours of videos. Like who? Your Bones victims that Jimmy can't find? She doesn't have a single victim that isn't anonymous, besides Jake Weddle. And Jimmy's tried his best to make it right with him. Now this whole...
Okay, you know what? No. I'm sorry. Because there's still this underlying thing. Well, Jake Weddle did go through a lot in that challenge. Jake Weddle could have left at any time. Okay? I'm sorry. It was a challenge. Have y'all not watched challenges before? Have you never seen a challenge before? He could have left at any time. No one had a gun to his head and said, you have to stay. He is a grown-ass man, and he made that grown-ass man decision to stay as long as he did. Shut the f*** up. Good God. I am so sick. Jake Weddle is such a crybaby. He irritates me to no end. Exactly, Victor. Imagine babying Jake Weddle. Yeah, imagine it. It couldn't be me.
Fine, she doesn't have a single victim that isn't anonymous, besides Jake Weddle. And Jimmy's tried his best to make it right with him. Now this whole drama is probably going to be pretty quiet for a while due to lawyers getting involved. And it's still a mess. Dogpack and Rosanna are liars, pushing disinformation. And because of their poor coverage, it's discredited the only victim Jimmy hasn't addressed. He might not have to now. Depending on how much charity you're willing to give Jimmy, this stuff along with the crypto might just seem like a reach that doesn't need to be addressed. But if you hate Jimmy, this silence is deafening. So tell me what you think. Subscribe to the channel and buy
film. Yeah. Alright, you're not making money off of me, homie. Yeah, it probably is going to die down right now. And what I think is going to happen now that the MrBeast stuff is going to die down a little bit, Rosanna's talking more shit. She's doing her thing. So now you're going to have content creators going after each other. the anti-MrBeast side versus the Dogpack and Rosanna are full of shit side. They're going to start going at each other. And you know what? Fair enough. More content for me.